Right guys, hi, I'm down Theale tonight, and I said in the video before that I might be looking at Hollybush. I thought I'll go somewhere that I know. So I'm down Theale day ticket, doing the night and then the day. Had a half day at college today, so I managed to book the night and then the day, come down after college, have a little. Yeah, got here around about 6:30. Getting the night ticket doesn't actually let you start fishing till 7, so I got it down at 6:30, set all my stuff up, had a little lead around, cast out, and that's coming up for about 20 to 9, so my rod's probably been out about an hour. Didn't put any bait out, just little PVA bags on both rods. Yeah, I'm pretty confident. Turned up and the fish were moving around, you can hear them flapping. The water's a bit lower than it usually is though. There's a bit of a problem supposedly with the inlet. There's some dirty water or something, so they shut the inlet off, so the water's really gone down. So now I'm sat in my bivvy at the moment. I'll probably just do this and then have my first cup of tea, have a little bit to eat or something, and get in my sleeping bag. Got a nice new sleeping bag, really warm, lovely. Realised that after the last video of my phone playing around, the battery's got a slight problem, but that's by the software. So I can either wait for the software update or get a new phone. So I'm gonna leave it to get the software update just to have a little look. But in the meantime, I went and bought myself a new portable charger. Supposedly you can charge my phone about 6 times before it runs out. So yeah, it's all good. That was on special offer, so why not? So yeah, put my cup of tea on, get in my sleeping bag, get warm. I'm hopeful of a bite. If anything, we're out fishing. So by the time we're out fishing, there's a chance for a bite, isn't there? If anything happens, I'll get back to you. Oh, it's just come up for about 10:30 now, so yeah, I'm tucked up in my sleeping bag, ready to go to sleep. I've recast the rods, put little PVA sticks back on them. Fish are still rolling around near the areas that I've cast to, so yeah, I think we're in for a good shout. At the moment though, I think it's time for a sleep. So got a couple of cups of tea, kept nice and warm. I'll be heading off to bed. If anything happens during the night, I might just chuck a picture on after this video, or I might be able to video it. I don't know what lighting I can have. I'll surprise you. Right, I'll see you in a bit. Right guys, it's just coming up to about 20 to 4 in the morning. Nothing was really happening for a while. Changed over one of my rods to another spot, put a bit of bait out a little while ago, probably about 2 in the morning. And I've just weighed it after a really hard 5-minute fight. It was fighting so hard, I've never caught anything like it. It's just gone 23.12 and it's a new PB. I'm really happy, yeah. It's such a thick set fish. Right, I'll try and get a bit of light and I'll try and show you. So here is that fish. Really powerful mirror. Massive tail. He was just so powerful. £23.12, new PB. A couple of little scarring marks here. Beautiful fish. Beautiful. I'll try and get a picture or two. Right guys, I'm still absolutely buzzing. That was amazing. Yeah, seriously. When I picked up into the rod, it was just going and going and going. I couldn't stop it. Yeah, unbelievable. Hardest fighting fish ever. Well, so far anyway. Yeah, unbelievable. So, just got that rod back out in the same spot. Check the rig, check the bait, check the hole setup. Put a bit more bait out on the spot. Put it there, and then my other rod, I've just got sort of moving around on a little almond pop-up. So that's just a single that I'm just moving around, trying to find another spot really. Try and pick one off. But no, I'm buzzing after that, seriously. So it's about 10 past 4 now. I'll get back into bed now. I'll have a bit of a sleep. Hope there's a chance for another. Come on. So good morning, it's just gone 7 o'clock. Just the one fish last night, but you know, that being a PB, I'm more than happy with that. That was caught from just here, about 3 handfuls of boilie, 3 handfuls of pellet, and yeah, did the trick. The fish just rolled just under my rods. There's a pike, it's just here. The fish just rolled out here as well. So I've still got one rod here, and my second rod. I was just sort of roving it about all night. There's a little patch here, quite deep silt, so I tried that. There's a weed bed that starts off around here somewhere. So it was near that. But I think one of the casts I was in that. So yeah, that didn't stay there. That came out and then went to the left a bit. But no, they didn't have a sniff, that rod. I got a couple of liners on this a couple of hours after. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning, so about an hour ago. But yeah, nothing really. So I think, well, I've got this rod, it's fine. So I'll keep that here. Put a bit more bait on that. That's easy catapult range. Like 10, 15, 20 yards, something like that. And then the second one I might put out towards here where that fish just rolled. Yeah, just put PVA bags on it. Almost fishing singles, but with a little bit of a high tract around. I mentioned before that I was told that the water level was going to be low. When I got here I didn't really realise how low it was going to be. But where my rods are now, this is all usually underwater up to about here. The best demonstration, I've got my mat in the other swim. This board, the water usually comes up to it. So, that's how far the water's dropped. A good foot. Good foot. So, yeah, it's quite hard landing the fish. but just meant I had to really push the net out under it just so it had enough water. So no, I think we'll do that. I've got enough bait with me, plenty of bait. About a kilo of boilie, a couple of kilos of pellet, bit of hemp, bit of sweet corn. Simple, simple. So now I put a bit of bait in, find another spot out towards there. Another fish just rolled just here. And yeah, we'll carry on fishing hard. Didn't sleep too much. I think I'll have a cup of tea and wake myself up a bit. Today's going to be a good day. Let's go. I just wound my rods in just to give them a little bit of a check before baiting up and recasting. And this is the reason I didn't catch on that other rig. On the other spot, the left hand spot. Plenty of crayfish in here. They've been nibbling away at the pop-up. Yeah. I might change to a hardened hook bait, just so it's not as easily torn apart. So let's change hook bait. Just for a cast out, I thought I'd show you guys what I'm actually using. Swapped over very similar rigs, both 8 inches of silk coloured semi-stiff coated braid, size 4 curve shank, and then a hardened hook bait with a tip up. So this one's got a pineapple dumbbell and an almond pop-up. The other one's got a monster red boilie hardened hooker with a bit of like a pineapple mango pop-up. Just give it a bit of a colour, bit of something to home in on, and they leak off like colour as well because of the goo. Also, there's a leader ban on this water, so if you're going to use a leader, you can only use tubing. I've opted against that. It's very silty, this water in places, so instead I've gone for like a naked kind of chod setup, using a naked chod system from Corda, but just putting a rig straight on. Sort of in my mind I thought that'd be the best way to attack this water, and it obviously shows that yeah, it works with that 23 pounder last night. So we'll get this out no matter where it lands. If the silt's quite deep, it's got sort of like 2-3 inches here, gap there of about 4 inches, and then just up the line I've got 2 bits of tungsten putty, just keep everything nice and pinned down, nice and low key. So the other rod's very similar, same setup, just different shaped lead. It's got a flat pair on, same 2-ounce lead, and then same rig, just a different bait. So we'll see what they're going for. I've just put a little bit of bait out, so about 2 handfuls of this monster red boilie from Baitworks, very good. I'm really rating this. And then just carp pellet, basic carp pellet, and some hemp. So I'll cast that and then put a little bit of corn over the top as well. We should be good to go. These seagulls are being nice and noisy. It's just starting to trickle with rain as well. So yeah, we'll get cast out. So first cup of tea's on. It's all gone a little bit quiet now. Some people have turned up behind me. They're fishing into the water around to my left. Still fish moving, still fish rolling, but I had a liner a couple of minutes ago, but they're not showing as much. They're not jumping. It's just sort of cruising. The seagulls are quieting down a bit now as well. So I'm gonna have a cup of tea, have something to eat as well. Put some pasta on. Weather's meant to stay quite overcast today. still quite chilly, only about 14 degrees, but yeah, overcast. It doesn't look too bad for a bite really. Both rods went down with a sort of firm donk, so I know that I'm fishing over somewhere fishable. So it's good. Right, kettle's done. And that was a cup of tea. Right, I keep getting a few liners on my left hand rod, so I don't know if that means that they're feeding over the rig, but not getting it, or whether they're getting away with it. So if it carries on happening, I'll look into it, kind of thing. But for the time being, just got my cup of tea. Just waking up, warming myself up. Just put some pasta on as well. You know, I'm only here for a night. You have to make some sacrifices. It's not worth bringing everything in the kitchen sink. So just a couple of litres of water for keeping me supplied with tea, and enough for little mug shots, little mug shot pastas. They're really good. I really like the roast chicken and the cheese one. Those two are good, and that's all you need. Means that you don't bring tons and tons of kit. It's just the essentials: a bit of food, a bit of water, and your fishing kit. So it all ties in with being mobile. If I didn't have that fish last night, I probably would be looking to move. I've fished this area before, but slightly differently. I didn't catch that time, so I think I'm onto a good method. But I will go for a walk round at 12 o'clock like I usually do. Yeah, just to get sort of reassociate myself with the lake more than anything. See if I can see anything that I haven't seen before. But no, for the time being, I'm just going to sit and tie up a couple of little PVA mesh bags. I'll show you the rig I caught that fish on last night as well. It's very similar to the rigs I just showed you that I cast out, but slight differences. So it's worth you having a look. No, I think my pasta's done, so I'll get on and munch that, drink my tea, keep my eyes open. Yeah, anything happens, I'll get back to you in a bit. Right, here's that rig. I had that 23 pounder on. It's about 5 inches of gravel coated braid. Got a size 8 long shank. That's barbed. I had a few barbed left, so I do rate a good long shank. A bit of silicone on that just to really improve the hooking properties. A bit of tungsten just to make that heavier and make the hook drop. Anti-tangle sleeve just keeps everything away, and the bait was a crab wafter with a little bit of pink corn, so that's just ultra buoyant. Make sure it just settles down nicely on top of everything, so it would have sat like that in the water. And then in the back end of all of my rigs, I tie a tiny little overhand knot. It's just that I use the quick chain swivels, so I can just pull the anti-tangle sleeve down, clip it off and clip it back on. New rigs on, fresh hook, fresh bait, that kind of stuff. Just speed. If you can get back on the spot where they're feeding quickly, then better really, isn't it? So there's that. Our pasta should be about done now. Good. So here's what I'm actually putting out over my rigs. Got Monster Red Boilie, that's Baitworks Boilie. Really vivid red colour. Smells really good. It's kind of like a spicy, nutty sort of mixed in with marine extracts kind of thing. So I'm really liking it. It sort of covers all the bases that I want it to cover. And then pellet, there's a ban on high oil pellet in here. So it's just some basic carp pellet that I've soaked in a bit of tiger nut liquid. And then the other faithful lovely little bit of sweet corn. I'll probably end up putting a couple of grains on the hair soon, just sort of change things around a bit. Most of the fish that I have caught throughout the time that I've been fishing have just been on a couple of grains of sweet corn. So alongside these, I'm just putting it out with a little bit of hemp. But along with that, I'm making up little PVA sticks with my little bag mix. You see how red that is as compared with sort of really dark brown ground bait. That's all I've got in here. A couple of different sizes of pellet, not too many big ones, where it sort of ruins it a bit. A couple of different sizes of pellets, got micro and large, a little bit of crushed up boilie, amino black ground bait from Dynamite, a couple of little bits of sweet corn here and there, and then a few bits of rock salt. It's just high attract, something a little bit extra boosted around the hook bait. And then once that's in a little stick, I'm putting a little bit of the Sonia Baits lava on it. It's like a cheesy garlic kind of flavour. So yeah, nice and stinky. I've still got one rod here, and the other rod is just sort of around here. The liners have stopped on the left hand rod. I don't know if that's indicating that they've been in and fed, sort of cleared me out kind of thing, but my rig hasn't been touched, or they've been feeding on my line but not on my rig. So I'll reel that in and have a little look. Okay, so about 5-10 minutes ago, the fish just showed just off the edge of the island, sort of out here. So I've moved my right rod from this side of the island around to this side and just put a handful of boilie, 2 handfuls of pellet over it. Same rig, it's just got a hardened boilie on it with a yellow pop-up. And I've just matched that with a PVA stick bag with the mix that I was using that I showed you. But yeah, they're moving. You can see them rolling now and then. Another person has turned up and is now fishing here. So there's quite a few people fishing into this bowl bit. You've got 2 next door, my left hand rod, and 2 of his rods, which is about here and here. So moving one of my rods into here, I think is quite a good idea. The fish just rolled over here and jumped underneath this canopy bit. So if they continue rolling here, there are quite a few swims. So just to my right, I can switch my rods into with relative ease. I can even go into the swim that I'm stood in at the moment that my landing mat and stuff is in. Yeah, fish off that island and into the middle. In here it's a bit shallower, sort of averages about 5 foot, whereas the average in this bowl bit sort of just goes down and then down from the other side. Goes down to about 9-10 foot. There's a bay up to the left hand corner that shallows up, gets to about 2 foot in the margins, and I found that a really good place for surface fishing. It was about 2 years ago. It was Halloween, literally Halloween. It was like a Friday that year. Yeah, it was a Friday that year. Came up here with Dad, and we struggled for most of the day. So the weather was a bit odd. So I went round up into that bay. Ended up with 3, all off the top. Biggest being £18.9, and I mean that was my PB up until last night. So yeah, I do like this lake. It's a good lake. It's just a bit moody sometimes. It's the kind of lake where you can't just turn up and get a rig out, because you have to know the spot. But as soon as you know the spot, then it opens up the sort of avenues for quite a few bites. Don't know if you heard that, as a fish just jumped here. There are a lot of swims on this lake, but you have to pre-book it. They only allow 15 people on at once, or maximum. I mean, really, once you got sort of 6 people on here, it does feel quite crowded. I think the most I've ever seen on here while I was fishing was about 8. And it was really tough fishing that day, really tough. It's now still overcast. It's about 10 degrees. So I've got a jumper and my hat on. I've just seen a pike go through the margin again. I don't know if you can lure fish here. Let's have a look. That might be something to do in winter. Come up with a spinning rod and try and catch a couple of perch and pike out of here if I can. If not, I know Broadlands let you on dead baits, so yeah, we give pike fishing a go this year. Right, I'll keep tricking a little bit of bait in, you know, matchman style. Little nothing, little nothing. Yeah, if anything happens, I shall let you know. Right, I've just moved my rods from my swim that was originally here to the swim, like 2 down. Obviously I can't put it on the actual swim, so my 2 rods are on what would be the lake bed in the margins. So yeah, you can see how far it has dropped, but about 1.5 foot, 2 foot. There's a lot of fish movement. There's even a fish just under the surface, just here. So I've got one just on the edge of this line. There's this line of scum. There's a bit of fish movement there, a couple of cruising around the surface. So I put sort of 2 handfuls of bait out. And that's just on a little dumbbell that I've soaked in almond goo, like prior to casting, then the little almond goo pop up. And then the left hand rod is in the same spot that it was in the other swim, just a different line angle basically, to the other, being in the other swim. And that's on the same hardened hook bait yellow pop up combo. I've got faith in that, so I don't think it's going to be the bait that lets me down, nor the rigs. So I've ticked all boxes really. I mean, I can change the rig if I have to, I can change the bait if I have to, but I don't think I will have to. So no, we'll stay here for a bit. And I still might go for a walk around at about lunchtime. I might put the kettle back on, another cup of tea. It's odd for them to be cruising around the surface though. You know, it is only 11 degrees and they're up cruising around near the surface. So yeah, a bit of an odd one really. So now I'm fishing in sort of 4.5 foot of water. As really I'd expect for this kind of weather to be fishing in more 6, 7, 8. So yeah, different really. It's all learning. Different lakes, different fish habits, I guess. Anyway, as per usual, anything happens, I'll let you not know. The sun's come out now. It's just got to 12 o'clock. And I don't know if it'll bring them up or put them into the shallower water, although they seem to be in the shallow water anyway. So yeah, it's a bit confusing at the moment, to say the least. Sort of not where you'd expect them to be. So I'm round in that swim, just fishing 2 slightly shallower areas. Nothing as of yet. A bit of bubbling just coming up there though. If that carries on, then one rod over there. Dunno. I will reel in and have a little walk around in a second though. This sun up, it'll be easier to spot them as well. Alright, kettle's boiled, time for pasta. Right, it's just coming up for about 12:30 now, so I think it is time to go and have a little walk around, see what I can see. If there's anything worth moving on to, then I probably will, but by just taking a rod and my mat and net and going and sit on it for an hour or two, rather than moving everything, putting all my eggs in one basket kind of thing. There was a fish showing sort of opposite my area, a bit further out than my area, so I was putting little bits of bait, sort of little and often over my spot to try and draw it in, but now it's soon stopped showing, so yeah, I think it's worth going and having a little walk around. With the water being low, I might be able to see a couple of spots when the water cut starts coming back up as well, so oh, it's just a duck. Right, I'll take you lot with me anyway. Reel in, let's go for a wander. It's just a swirl in this margin. I'm just going to keep low and see if I can see anything. The sun's back out now, so I should be able to see a fish if there's a fish. I'm trying to sprinkle a little bit of bait out, see if I can get his attention. Oh, there is deep enough for a fish to come in. It's deep enough so I can't see the bait, but shallow enough that I will see a fish. Or like signs of feeding. So I've got just over an hour left now of this session. There's been a few carp roll. One just rolled off this bush. I did have a bait there, but as I was reeling it in, it got really snagged on something under the water. I don't really know what that was, but it cut me off. So I thought I'd leave that area and just sort of moved it out a little bit onto a little gravel bar that I found earlier when I was having a lead around. So that's on there. But yeah, the carp jumped there after I moved it, so I'm trickling little bits of bait in though. Make sure the area stays full of bait, full of reasons for the carp to feed basically, and keeping it trickling in keeps the sound of the bait falling, so hopefully it pulls them into the area. Yeah, I sorted that rod out and that's just back out there. That right hand rod is just here. That's on a really firm patch as well, so we're on two good spots. A bit of bait over them, so there's no reason why the spot shouldn't produce. What I'll do at the moment is just have a slow pack down, leave the rods as they are, they're good as they are, so yeah, no need to move them. It's starting to cool off now, the cloud cover's really thick. Hasn't really got out of the single figures for temperature today, but it's sort of slowly creeping back to sort of 7 degrees. Yeah, hasn't been a bad day really. It's obviously not fishing very well because of the water. No one else on the lake has caught apart from me this morning, so yeah, whether the water level's got anything to do with that, I don't know. I don't know if water level affects oxygen. I'll have to look that one up. Anyway, hopefully one of these rods go. We'll have a lovely second carp to show you to finish off the video nicely. If not, well, hopefully we will do. So, there's no if not. Right, I'll have a slow pack down. Make myself a cup of tea, I think. I think you lot can watch the rods. Yeah, that's a good idea. So just at the last bit of the pack down now. I've got a couple of minutes before Dad turns up. So this will be the end of the video, unless anything else happens. And as usual, I'll put it on at the end. No, I've had a good session, really. That PB was bloody got me over the moon. It was good. It was good. And the lead system, me trialling that out, I'm really happy with how that looks. So the positives to take, of course. But no, I've got another session planned in a couple of days. I can't tell whether that's going to be a day session, just one of my Yateley waters, or another overnighter here. I have to think about that and see what I can do. No, other than that, cheers for watching, like, subscribe, all that jazz, and I'll see you soon.